We've got 5 updated Reddit stories for you guys today, starting it off with need a fake kid to piss off my wife. I have no idea what that means, but I'm ready to find out. And of course, this is an updated video, so we got plenty of updates in every single story. So stick around for those 4 more absolutely insane updated stories, including I found a condom wrapper in my wife's car. Now what? And the story that we're going to be ending the video off with, am I wrong for being upset my girlfriend of 8 years now wants sex? Alrighty, chat, let's lock in for this morning stream. Need a fake kid to piss off my wife. Original post December 21st, 2024. My wife and I are watching Elf together, and we saw the part where Buddy, Will Ferrell's real dad, James Caan, tells his wife about Buddy. And his wife, Mary Steenburgen, gets excited about this surprise adult kid that pops into their life from a time before they knew each other. I pointed out to my wife that it's a little unbelievable that she would immediately be on board. I then comment that she, my wife, would actually be mad at me in this situation, even if I genuinely did not know this kid existed and it was conceived before I met her. She denies it, but I know my wife. We're in our early 40s and we've been married 10 years, together for 12. So I need a 20-ish kid to knock on the door and tell me they're my kid and that they just wanted to meet me. Gotta be convincing and really talk about how your mom and I were once really happy before she died of something tragic. Dealer's choice. Job pays $100. Gender, race, etc. don't matter so long as you can pass for early 20s. Shouldn't take more than an hour of conversation, then you get a call or something and have to leave. Want to do this soon after the new year. You come up with the backstory and I'll play along. I'll give you a little info up front after you take the job. The edits are just, holy cow, I have several interested potential fake offspring. I am no longer taking applications. Did not expect so many willing people. I'll post the winning candidate in the coming days. Edit 2, it looks like I not only have a potential fake kid, but the kid could actually pass as genetically me. I will post an update post after in the first week of January, hopefully not from a shelter. Chat, as cruel as this is, I'm kind of down to see where this goes. Like, in no certain terms would I ever recommend this. As a third-party person who isn't affected by this, I want to know. If this were like a friend of mine, I'd be like, bro, what the fuck are you doing? That's ridiculous. Definite, you're the a-hole, but bro is funny. Paladin, that's exactly how I feel. I'm like, listen, man, you might be a dickhead for this experiment. That being said, I'm so down to see where this goes. There are some bits that need to be played out solely for the fact of being able to say that they played out. I'm actually very curious, guys. Same scenario happens to you. Would you be mad or not? I feel like I would not be mad. I would more be like, you fucking idiot. How did you not know? Not really. I mean, I don't want kids, but no. Nah, if it was before our relationship, never. I'd probably laugh. Depends on how our relationship is at the moment. That's a hot take, Joy, actually. If it's an adult kid, I don't care. Okay, that's a good point, Ryu Mike. I kind of agree with that. If it's an adult kid, that's very different from like a kid. I would low-key crash out, but it's not the worst thing. Okay, Dream. I would only be mad if the person actually knew about the kid and simply didn't care. Me too, Felix. Me too. Fake kid pissed wife epilogue, January 6th, 2025. So to the very dramatic naysayers, one of which compared my prank to spousal abuse, several diagnosed me with a number of mental illnesses, and at least as many said I was childish and cruel. To you, I say, you're probably right. However, Nana Nana Boo Boo, stick your head in doo-doo. All right, listen, we could debate about spousal abuse and mental illness. I think it's pretty safe to say he's childish and cruel. That being said, I'm also childish and cruel. I'm so down to see where this goes. We've been married a decade. We know each other well enough to know what's over the line and what's funny. That said, it was harder than I thought to secure a fake child. Sure, I had a large number of interested parties and even a couple of fabulous candidates, one of which actually looked enough like me that I started wondering if one of you got to my wife and were pulling the ultimate Uno reverse card on my prank. Unfortunately, interested and committed are two very different things. Multiple potential sons and daughters made it to the planning stage and found one reason or another to bail out. Let me be clear. I do not blame these folks at all. I don't think I would have the courage to send the first DM, let alone actually go through with the prank orchestrated by a complete stranger. But I did find a suitable actor with the courage to come through, and I still think it was money well spent. So here's a synopsis of how it played out. No, there's not a video. Saturday afternoon, my doorbell rang. My dog lost his mind as he is one to do, and my wife answered the door since I had pretended to take a call moments earlier. My son, looking to be about 20 to 25, taller and better looking than I, asked if I was home. My wife motioned to me. I had conveniently just ended my fake phone call, and I came to the door. My son, who even shared my first name, his idea, not mine, said he had something kind of strange to talk to me about. I asked if he wanted to come in, which literally almost blew the whole thing because I would sooner saw off my own foot than invite people in my house. But my wife didn't think much of it. We came to the living room. I offered him a drink. He declined. My son is an excellent actor, by the way. He would later say it was the anxiety of the situation and not wanting to mess up that made his nervous demeanor so convincing. This is from memory, but it's pretty much everything. I'll let my son chime in with details should he feel like outing himself. Fake son, do you remember old ex-girlfriend I mentioned at least once in my 10-year marriage in front of my wife? OP, yeah. Fake son, that's my mother. It was my wife who reacted first with, oh, no way. So I look at her, feigning ignorance, and then back at my son, and OP says, is she okay? Fake son, yeah, she's fine. That's not why I'm here. My wife was nearly busting out of her chair, totally engrossed and completely consumed with two strong theories. One, her husband had a long-lost son, and more importantly, two, her husband hasn't figured out yet that he has a long-lost son. So OP says, out with it, kid. What's going on? Fake son, I'm 22 years old. My wife's eyes essentially bugged out of her head, having now confirmed her theories in her mind. She looks at me, seemingly annoyed that I hadn't put these obvious puzzle pieces together, and interrupts my fake kid. Nearly laughed, but I held it together. OP's wife, I think he's telling you that he thinks you're his father. My acting is not so great, but I gave it a shot with, wait, what? My look of shock could use some work, but it played for the audience. My son looked at me. Fake son, she's right, and I'm not here to ask for anything. In fact, I don't have a lot of time to stay, but I just wanted to meet you and maybe exchange numbers. OP, this is a lot to take in. I knew your mother a long time ago, and she never said, I didn't know. Fake son, I'm paraphrasing, but this kid deserves an Oscar. She never told you. She only told me on Christmas morning. She didn't say anything bad about you, just that it was over and she was already dating my dad when she found out she was pregnant with me. OP, wait, does your dad know? Fake son, of course, and I've always known he wasn't my biological father. He's a great dad, but lately I'd been wondering who my real father was, so I asked my mom and she told me. OP, wow, I freely admit I had the easy part. This is so elaborate, bro. Like, they really built out this backstory. I think the detailed backstory is what does it for me, chat. OP's wife didn't say anything, but was just taking it all in. Not much else to tell in terms of the production. We exchanged numbers, then he got his own fake phone call reminding him he was late for something or other, and I walked him out. The rest of the production was just my wife and I. I came back to the living room doing my best bewildered act. We talked about it, covered things like paternity tests, etc. And it turns out I was way wrong. My wife wasn't mad, miffed, or even slightly annoyed. She was full on amazed, excited, and entertained by the whole thing. I waited a few hours before I fessed up, but before I did, she kept saying how cool it was that I might have a son. And then when I told her it was all a bullshit lie I made up to prove a point, she laughed a lot. I can't decide what amused her more, the effort I put into the ruse or the fact that I ended up proving her right in the process. Here are a couple of gems from the wife after I told her the truth. Where the hell did you find that guy? I'm glad your son wasn't a serial killer. I might have been mad if he came here looking for money. Next time, you can save $100 and just assume you're wrong. Yo, that is a fire clapback. Was the prank maybe a little cruel, a little bit childish? Sure, but I'm so glad that he understood that the wife wouldn't freak the fuck out and that the wife had a positive reaction. You know I'm going to get you back, right? Hey, that's I love that. The last one has me a little worried. Smiley face. Oh my god. Oh my god. Yo, I fucking love that one, chat. Great relationship dynamic. No, for real. Like, if I feel like I couldn't pull some like shit like that with my wife, I don't know if I'd want to be in that relationship. relationship. Like, that's so fun. Not gonna lie, I was most excited to join stream because of Beans. He's chilling. I apologize, guys. This is his like calm hours, you know? I mean, maybe if I shake his treats, he'll come out. Hold on. Oh, here he comes. Oh, he knows. The Beans has been summoned. They specifically asked for you because you're so handsome. You're just the sweetest guy around. You like that belly rub? You like the chin scratchies? I don't think he wants to be pet right now. He's like, Dad, will you just shut up and give me my treats? This is from Marwan and Tabby. Right here, buddy. Oh. Oh, big Halloween cat stretch. Right here, right here. There you go. Should we give him one more, chat? Yeah. Any more, and we run the risk of him yakking on my floor. Come say hi to chat. They wanted to see you so bad. They wanted the Beaninator 3000. Someone take a screenshot. Hey, buddy. Oh, there's the flop. There it is. There's our little floppy boy with the cutest belly ever. You just got the cutest belly. Brenda, thank you for the $5 donation for Beans. Beans, say thank you. Devastated and spiraling. I found a condom wrapper in my wife's car. Now what? We have a male 35 OP and a 34 female wife. Original post, October 29th, 2024. We've been together for about 10 years and married for 6. We have no kids now, but we are planning to start trying pretty much now. We are both very active, going to the gym, eating healthy, and are both in relatively great shape. My wife is gorgeous with a phenomenal body, but I would probably consider myself maybe a 5 or 6 out of 10 on the attractiveness scale. I realize that, but we have always had a really strong relationship. We started as great friends, realized we were just right for each other, and that developed into true romantic love and devotion. The sex was always fantastic. There were never any issues there with quality or frequency. I was washing my wife's car, as I do pretty often. In the course of cleaning the interior, I found an open, empty condom wrapper under her passenger seat. We don't use condoms since she's always been on birth control. I'm driving myself insane with all the stories and scenarios running through my brain. She spends a lot of time at the gym working with weights and doing her cardio, like 3 hours, 4 days a week. So there are frequent times when we are apart. She has never given me a reason to suspect she has been unfaithful. I know I have to confront her, but I'm scared to death of what might be the truth. She is my world, and I can't imagine starting a family with anyone else. I'm afraid I'm going to break. I think if I had seen this the day it was posted, my recommendation, it is extremely fishy. Odds are she's cheating on you. I would try to find evidence or figure out if she's actually cheating on you beforehand. There could be maybe some sort of case scenario where her friend hooked up with a guy in your car and you had no idea. And that's why the condom wrapper's there. Is it extremely unlikely? Yes. Could there be other explanations for that condom wrapper? Also, yes. I mean, it sounds like the only time she could potentially be cheating on you is at the gym. I'm not gonna lie, even if you're super fit, 3 hours at the gym is mad sus. I'm a pretty big gym rat. Any more than 2 hours is excessive, unless you're a professional bodybuilder or something like that. I would start following her to the gym like low key. Go to the gym or hire a private investigator to figure out if she's actually cheating. And then once she actually cheats, have the evidence to pull up in front of her. Because right now you don't have evidence. She might find a way to explain away the condom wrapper. Ooh, maybe just check her phone first, Slayer noobs. That's probably a good move, actually. Just ask. If she was being fishy with her response, then maybe PI, but not instead of talking first. But Melancholic Void, if you talk to her and she's able to talk her way out of it and she doesn't own up to it, then she can just hide it. I don't know. I'm pro get a PI before talk. So being sneaky and lying to see if your spouse is being sneaky and lying doesn't seem worth it to me. Sure. Are you being sneaky and lying? Yes. However, you have a reason, in my opinion, to be sneaky and lying. If you find a condom wrapper in your partner's car, that is reason enough to start sneaking and lying to try to figure out if that's the truth. Even if it was an accident, even if it's what I said, where like their friend hooked up in their car or any other thing that explains away the condom and actually makes sense, there's less chance of a good end result for yourself if you try to talk to them first. If this person's already a bad enough person to be cheating on you, they're bad enough to try to come up with a lie and not tell you the truth. This is how I feel, Marutman. She might gaslight you and saying you don't trust her, you are paranoid, there's nothing. I don't know how that condom wrapper got there. My friend must have dropped it. Boom. OP added an edit. I wanted to add some details to save me from having to reply to all the common comments. My wife has never given me a reason to think she has cheated before this. She has always been loving and affectionate, and we were looking forward to starting a family very soon. Some have speculated that kids coming soon may have led her to one last fling. I don't know. Possibly. We are an open book to each other with our finances pretty much entirely tied up as one. She comes from a pretty upper middle class background. Her parents are very comfortable. I come from a home where my parents were fighting their own demons, and so I didn't get a lot of attention growing up. Not a criticism, it was easy to get lost in the shuffle of my parents' problems. We are cordial, but not super close. I am way closer to her family, and I love her mom and dad and younger sister. Financially, we are fine. Together, we make about $150,000 per year. She makes $60,000 as a law firm assistant, and I make $90,000 as an auto technician. We own a house together, and we were able to purchase it with a down payment from her family. If worse comes to worst, I have no interest in fighting for that money. It is theirs, and they can have it back if we end up selling the house. Some have commented about the amount of time she is at the gym. We go to separate gyms. She gets off work at 4 and goes straight to the gym where she does a class, then works out with weights and the cardio on the treadmill. I was never suspicious of the time she spends there, but the time she gets home, I am already there and she jumps directly in the shower, and then we make dinner together and hang out. As far as a lawyer or investigator, there's no way I could do that in secret with the way we manage our finances, so that's out for now. Someone explained to me how to get detailed phone records from Visible, so that's my next step. I will get the records when I have some time to myself and see if there's a number that she's in contact with a lot that I don't recognize. I'll try to figure out where to go from there and let you all know. Okay, all right. I feel like that's maybe a more safe way than the private investigator, just checking the phone records. Someone asked about dash cams, and they said, ironically, both our cars already do have front dash cams. I'll look at the footage. In my head, that's more of a reason to not cheat, right, chat? Like, if there's dash cams, like, you can't be stupid enough to cheat when there's a camera. Come on. Update post 1, October 30th, 2024, the next day. Not a whole lot to say, but things are getting interesting. First off, I found a wrapper, not an actual used condom, so the suggestion of DNA testing was not useful. Thanks to a Reddit user for the information about getting detailed phone records from Visible. Today at work, during some break time, I requested a download of phone records, but it says the request could take up to 45 days. I can't wait that long. I also drove by her work on my lunch break. I don't know why or what I expected, but her car was there, as it normally is. Lots of good advice to track her, get a VAR, look at her phone without her knowing, hire an investigator, a lawyer, etc. I can't deal with this. I'm taking the advice a lot of you had, and I'm just going to confront her today when she gets home. As some of you suggested, I plan to just use the condom wrapper on the table in plain sight and watch her body language. Yeah, like I said, I'm not pro confront her. There's just too much that you can lie about or try to gaslight for, but I think this is actually a solid plan. See how she reacts to the condom wrapper. I am so scared and nervous, I am almost pissing my pants. I am really starting to expect the worst. For me, if she cheated, there is zero chance we will stay married. Zero. I don't care what excuses or reasons or whatever she has. No therapy, no counseling, nothing. I can't believe I'm typing this. It makes it seem real. I can't imagine her sucking and fucking some other guy or guys. That's an image I can never get out of my head for the rest of my life. As far as assets, we don't have a lot. We have a pretty nice house that her dad helped us pay for. I'm happy to let her have it with my fair share and paying back her father. Otherwise, it's bullshit like 2 cars, some furniture, and some decent savings that we have both contributed to, so I'm willing to split it 50-50. The thought of divorce is burning a pit in my stomach. I'll post it again after I confront her. Either way, I think this thing comes to a conclusion tonight. All right, and there's an extra little mini update on the same post a few hours later. Instead of sitting here pissing my pants, I wanted to just type a few more things to keep busy. I'm sitting here trying to find any other reason to doubt her. The wrapper. It was fairly pristine, not something stuck on a shoe or sitting in a parking lot. Dash cam. Yes, I've checked the dash cam footage. Nothing suspicious or out of the ordinary. Commutes to work, the gym, and home. Maybe a stop or two for typical errands. Grocery store, cleaners. Zero suspicious activity. But she knows there's a dash cam too, so who knows? Maybe she's just being really careful. The car. Yes, we bought it used 2 years ago. It is a 2018 Infiniti Q60 Coupe. It had an extremely small back seat, and I can't imagine sex back there, but who knows what motivated people might be capable of. I clean and vacuum it at least once a month, so there's zero chance it has been there the whole time. Ironically, we usually wash the cars together, but this time I happen to be doing it alone. Had she been there, this whole thing would probably be over now. Our current state of relationship, it's really strong as far as I know. She comes home, we share a glass of wine while we make dinner together, talk about our day, cuddle on the couch if we watch a show. We really have what anyone from the outside would be jealous of. No feelings of distance, no hiding of the phone, and no drop-off in sex, which has always been and still is great. Her gym time. With as much as she does, it is really reasonable for her to spend 2.5 hours at the gym. I've gone with her. I've seen her work out. It's pretty extensive and her body shows it. I am so proud of how great she looks and how she takes such good care of herself and encourages me and cares about our health. I've never been suspicious about it, maybe foolishly. Yes, she comes home and showers right away, but she's typically sweaty and feels gross. She doesn't avoid me when she walks in. She will typically come over and greet me with a kiss on the lips and then hit the shower. If she was just having sex with a side piece, I think she would be more discreet. We spend most of our time together on the weekends, go for a jog, date nights, happy hour with friends, dinner with family, etc. She has a lot of girlfriends from work and they sometimes go out for girls' night like once every 2 months. But again, nothing suspicious. I see the credit card charges, so I don't believe she is hiding anything, and her girlfriends are all awesome, and I love hanging out with them and their husbands/boyfriends. I'm torn and getting nervous about talking to her tonight, but I gotta get this over with. Some of OOP's comments here. Okay, this is interesting. Commenter, who is apparently downvoted a lot. Ooh boy, what are you gonna do if she's innocent? What's she going to think of you and your relationship? Is she going to stay with you? OOP, if she's innocent, I can't imagine she would feel that my suspicion was not reasonable. I may be foolish, but I don't think it would impact our relationship. If there's a condom wrapper found in your car and your partner is suspicious of you cheating, even if you haven't, it would be so unreasonable for you not to understand why they would have thought that you were cheating. Even if there's a perfectly reasonable explanation and you prove it to them being suspicious is totally merited. I don't know, chat, what are we thinking? Any bold predictions? We kind of have a torn... Actually, you know what, chat? Good time for a poll. It looks like no won, but not by much. By literally like 2 votes. Update post 2, October 30th, 2024, 10 hours later. I took a lot of your advice and decided to confront her tonight. My wife came home from the gym about 6:45 like always. I was sitting at the kitchen table alone. She came over, said hi, kissed me on the lips, and went off to take a shower pretty much like usual. I'm not gonna lie, when she came over to kiss me, I smelled really hard for the evidence of man scents. Cologne, soap, deodorant, sweat, anything. I got nothing. As she showered, I sat by myself, a ball of anxiety, and damn near chickened out. She got out of the shower and came into the kitchen, wet hair, sweats, t-shirt, looking beautiful as usual. She sat down like we always do and expected to chat about our day. She could see immediately something was wrong. She asked what's up. I mean, I was shaking and so nervous like you cannot believe. I asked her, have you lent your car to anyone recently? No. Have you had any passengers in your car the last few weeks? She thought for a second and said, no. I asked, has anyone besides you or me been in your car the last few weeks? She said, no. What the hell is going on? I asked to see her phone. She looked at me weird and said, okay, and just slid the phone to me across the table. No hesitation, and said, what the fuck is going on? I didn't touch her phone. I took the condom wrapper out of my pocket and set it on the table. She looked at it, but had no real visible reaction. I didn't say a word. After a few seconds, she said, what the hell is that? I said, it's a condom wrapper. She said, it's obviously a condom wrapper. What the fuck is a condom wrapper doing on our kitchen table? She was starting to get annoyed. She is either a really good actor or she sincerely had no idea what was happening. I told her I found it under your car seat while I was cleaning her car. She honestly looked dumbfounded. She said she had no idea how it got there. She really seemed sincere and was starting to get concerned. She asked if I thought it was hers, and I said, I'm not sure. Is it? She said, you have got to be kidding me. You seriously think I'm fucking around on you? Are you crazy? What the hell is wrong with you? Okay, I don't fuck with that. This is gaslighting, chat. Girl, he found a condom wrapper under your seat. Of course he's gonna think you're fucking around on him. Bad start, chat, bad start. She took her phone and waved it at me and said, here, please, look at my phone. Call my sister, who she shares everything with. Call any of my friends. I'm not sure what you want me to say. We sat in silence, very uncomfortable for a minute or two. I didn't take my eyes off her, looking for any sign, like a tear. I said, what would you think if the roles were reversed? She admitted she would probably be suspicious, but would give me the benefit of the doubt. She literally went through every day the past couple of weeks, where she went, who she was with, and what she was doing, trying to come up with any explanation. She finally remembered an after-work thing that they did for a friend of hers. A baby shower kind of thing at a restaurant after work. One of the girls at her office was invited but couldn't go, and so she asked my wife to please take her gifts to the party. My wife said sure, and they walked down to my wife's car to put the gifts in, and my wife's stuff was in the front passenger seat. As I said, the car she drives, Infiniti Q60, has a tiny black seat, and access to the back seat is ridiculously difficult. As her friend was putting the gifts in, she spilled her purse all over the floor behind the passenger seat. That was the only possibility she could think of. As I sat there, she insisted we call that friend immediately, and she did just that. She put her friend on speakerphone. She asked her if she remembered when she spilled her purse. She answered yes. She asked if she was sure she got everything picked up off the floor. She answered, I think so. Why? My wife then seriously asks, do you and boyfriend's name use condoms? Her friend kind of chuckled and said, yes, question mark. My wife asks what brand, and she answers Trojans. Same size too. My wife looked straight into my eyes and asked, when you dumped your purse in my car, is there a chance there were condoms in it? Her friend said, yes. It's not unusual for me to have condoms in my purse. Why? My wife told her friend about the wrapper. Her friend said she doesn't know why she would have had an empty wrapper in her purse, but it is certainly possible. She hung up the phone and looked at me and asked if I would like to go through her phone. I said no, and she asked, mystery solved. All right, that definitely makes me feel better. I literally started crying. I was crying because I was so fucking relieved. I was crying because I am married to the most awesome woman in the world who loves me more than anything. And I was crying because I was racked with guilt that I thought she could be cheating. I felt miserable for how I must have made her feel. My incredible wife took it so well. She hit me with her dish towel and said, Jesus Christ, I cannot believe you could think I would cheat on you. But she admitted again, she may have felt the same in my shoes. She even laughed a little bit and said it was kind of cute that I was so jealous and nervous about asking her about it. We decided to have our glass of wine and go out for dinner. At dinner, we talked about how excited we were to start trying for a baby. I'm 100,000% sure she was telling the truth. I know her like nobody else. I know her body language. I know her voice and how it sounds when she is stressed or hiding something. There was none of that. I hope none of you have to go through this, but thanks for all the well wishes. I will probably let my wife read this thread at some point, but not while it's still so fresh. Plus, she'll probably rib me for going to Reddit for advice. She's not necessarily a fan. Haha, so all is good. Really good. Have a great life, everybody. Okay, chat, but there is a bonus post here. Hopefully it ends well. Aside from this comment, I think we're Gucci because she did backtrack. She did backtrack after he said, if the roles were reversed, what would you think? And she was like, I'd probably be suspicious too. And it's pretty convincing to call a coworker out of the blue. There's no way that this interaction with the coworker could be faked. There's no way that she could have named the brand and size of the condom and been so prepared for an impromptu call like that. I think it's safe to say that the wife is telling the truth. And that's coming from somebody who was saying, I think the wife is cheating. Now I'm kind of scared for this though. Like, why is there another update here? Let's look through some of these comments. These two comments are basically saying that he jumped to conclusions by creating a fake scenario, but like low-key chat, I think it's merited. I don't think you find an empty condom wrapper and don't jump to that conclusion. All right, maybe an important reflection here from OP. Going back and rereading my post with some distance, I can see that I am somewhat insecure. I have put her on such a pedestal and I feel like she is so much more of a catch than me. That's not healthy and probably something I need to work on with her help. My intense fear when I consider losing her is likely tied to some subconscious thought that I could never do better. Yet she had never done anything to make me feel that way. The way she looks at me and treats me, it's like she thinks she could never do better. She is so humble, but I can't believe she doesn't know how awesome and beautiful she is. I need to have some confidence that I am worth her love. I don't know. This situation has really opened my eyes. And with that being said, we do have a little bonus post here, November 2nd, 2024, 3 days later. The condom situation had a happy ending, but my initial reaction upon finding the wrapper was concerning to both my wife and I. We have a really solid relationship both physically and emotionally. In our 10 plus years of our relationship, she has never given me any indication of anything other than 100% love, faithfulness, and devotion to me. Despite this, my reaction was to immediately jump to the worst case scenario, and it really caused me to panic and spiral. You can read the panic in my posts. My wife has been so understanding and supportive, and we have talked a lot. First off, she reiterated that if I ever have any concerns about anything, I need to talk to her. But otherwise, we talked a lot about why this was my initial thought. We talked about the fact that I have always considered her just absolutely beautiful and way more attractive than me. We talked about how she constantly garners the attention of guys whenever we are out in a social situation, movies, bars, restaurants. I constantly see the eyes of men on her. And with good reason. She is a 12 out of 10. I mean that in all seriousness. Guys are surprised when they see her and realize she is with me. I think, in parentheses, no, I am insecure, anxious, defensive, and lack confidence about that specific aspect of our relationship. She says I am crazy. She has eyes only for me, showers me with love, physical affection, and attention when we are out, makes it obvious she is not interested in flirting with anyone. She is unfazed and unimpressed with the guy's attention or flirty comments. She says I am wrong about my looks, and she thinks no man on earth is better looking than me. So here's the crux. Would I benefit from therapy? Single therapy or couples? Any kind of therapist I should be looking for? I am really willing to give this a try. Okay, I mean, would I benefit from therapy? Yes, I think anybody would benefit from therapy. I don't know if chat's gonna agree with me on this. I think single therapy to start, and then if your therapist recommends couples therapy, move to that as well. But I think single therapy for anybody is a good thing, as long as you find a good therapist. I don't know, chat. I'm still gonna sit here and be like, he was given adequate reason to think there was a possibility of her cheating. I'm glad it didn't end up being like that. I don't think there was an overreaction here other than his subconscious response and his insecurity, which I definitely think needs help. I don't know, like I'm looking at this and I'm like, I think he made the right moves everywhere there. Like it's totally okay to be suspicious there. I invited 15 of my closest friends to my birthday party, but they didn't even reply to the invite, and I feel so ashamed. Original post, August 27th, 2023. I, female 27, made a WhatsApp group and invited 15 of my closest friends to my birthday party. I planned a nice themed dinner. The theme was Italy/Dolce Vita at a nice restaurant with one live music act, a nice cake ordered from a bakery and fitting the theme, and decorations. I wrote a heartfelt text, how I want to celebrate getting older with my oldest and greatest friends, and I detailed everything that was planned for the evening in the invitation. And then nothing. Nobody replied. Nobody said a word like, thanks for the invite, or looking forward, or anything at all. After a few hours, my boyfriend posted a party meme in the WhatsApp group and wrote how excited he was to get it started. Still nothing. After almost 2 days, I posted a GIF of chirping grills and made a funny comment, still thinking maybe people simply forgot to reply. After another day, I started texting people individually if they would like to come or if they are available that evening, and a few responded that they will let me know soon. Others didn't respond at all. After almost a week, not a single one of my friends posted into the group or have messaged me if they would like to come to my birthday party. After 0 invitation acceptances and after reaching out several times, I felt so ashamed, like I was begging the people to want to celebrate me or to come. I started to cry and I felt so depressed, ashamed, and humiliated. I just deleted the WhatsApp group. Nobody has asked me about that either. My birthday is now just a week away. I called the restaurant and canceled. I called the bakery and canceled my order, and I returned the decorations I bought. Maybe I was the stupid one for organizing all those things beforehand, but I was just so sure that at least a handful of people would like to come/show up. I am just so sad. I've known most of my friends for at least 15 years. I was their bridesmaids, their child's godparent, their maid of honor. I was there at graduation ceremonies and birthday celebrations, and I am truly puzzled. Is it really such a burden to come to my dinner? A dinner which I would have paid in full and which I tried to make it into a beautiful evening/event for everyone. I'm so sad and ashamed that I wasn't even worth a reply message. My boyfriend is trying to cheer me up, and he immediately got busy organizing a surprise birthday evening for me. He is wonderful, and I am just so glad he and my parents care so much about me. Otherwise, I would just feel absolutely worthless. Okay, there is one comment asking, who are these people? I can assure you it's extremely rare to have 15 close friends. OOP, mostly people I went to school or kindergarten with. There are as many as 15 because I invited my friend and additionally their partner. So 6 invitees were actually additional partners. Hope that helps. I mean, there's not much of a reaction I can have here, chat. I feel like we don't know anything. There's something fishy, but we don't know if it's with OP or with this group. I think my main question is how often do they hang out? Or maybe 2? Maybe these people are all out of state and live far away from this person. Although they're bridesmaids, child's godparent, and maid of honor. I mean, that's pretty close. I don't know, chat. This whole thing's fishy. Like, I could see this going either way, where either OP has extremely unrealistic expectations of their friends, or there's a reason why all these friends are kind of in the same boat that they don't want to go to OP's birthday party. Do we have any bold predictions in chat? Because I genuinely don't know. Maybe they're planning a surprise. I mean, I sure hope so, Ma. That would be the wholesome ending that we need here. Although that would also be very cruel to like position that surprise coming from a place that none of her friends wanted to celebrate her birthday. I also think it would be weird that the boyfriend wouldn't be involved. I would at least expect a reply to the invitation. You're right. You're 100% right. The only thing I'm wondering is like maybe OP thinks they're closer to them than they actually are, or there's gotta be a reason that all of them are against OP. Like maybe there's something that OP isn't communicating here that has made them all not want to be friends with them anymore. My intuition is telling me that there's more to this story, because there has to be more to the story for them to just not reply. If they just didn't like hanging out with her and didn't want to go to her birthday party, like make up an excuse why you can't go. Update 1 from the same day. I've read every single comment. The comments ranged from compassionate to giving advice or constructive criticism. All in all, reading all of them felt so incredibly uplifting and cathartic. Thank you all. I will continue reading and answering as much as I can and give you any updates. To the people believing I will get a surprise party, I really won't. I think honestly, every one of my friends is in their own bubble and has their own stuff going on and just wasn't feeling it right now, which was definitely hurtful and rude, but at least it didn't feel malicious. About my friends, they are not bad people at all, but they are probably victim to a world where commitment in general is a rare thing to find, where rules and manners are slowly forgotten, and where being constantly busy is good enough to excuse for anything. I found it rude, but I will not confront them, but rather distance myself. They are my friends because in times of crisis, they were there for me, and we share many good memories. However, as many pointed out, you do grow apart, and this behavior might be a result of that. Chad, I don't know why, but this response is a little bit of a red flag to me. I cannot put it into words, but that response feels weird to me. Yeah, a bit too philosophical is a good way to put it. You ever met somebody who can come up with a reason, no matter how far-fetched the reason is, they can always come up with some sort of explanation why something isn't their fault? That's what this feels like. Listen, I could be so wrong, and I do really hope I am, but radars are going off. Oh, this is a perfect way to put it, Zeno. She's playing the martyr. Like, I'm not trying to be that guy. Like, I hope she's not being disingenuous, and maybe she just has ass friends, but I feel like there's too many raised eyebrows right now, and this response just raises my eyebrow even further. Thank you guys for helping me sort that out, because I genuinely was like, what am I thinking right now? I talked to my boyfriend a lot and showed him some of the responses, and he was very reassuring. He told me the fact that I cared so much, that I always try to do things with love and care. That is one of the things he appreciates and loves most about me, and he never wants me to give that up. I also reflected on me and my character, and I will try to do better myself, as I also sometimes forget to reply to a text or cancel a lunch last minute. I will try to put the behavior out there that I would like to receive. I ordered myself a birthday calendar, an address book, and a couple of birthday cards, and I will note every birthday of a friend or acquaintance that I make and send them a birthday card. Many of the comments talked about the hurt they felt when people forgot their birthday and didn't show up, and I find the idea to try to do things differently soothing. I don't know, chat. Maybe I'm a fucking terrible person, but I'm getting the same vibe that we just talked about from this paragraph. I reflected on myself and just realized I didn't want to be that person. So I'm gonna go above and beyond and write down everybody's birthday who I've ever met fucking ever, so I can write them a personalized birthday card. Maybe I'm just a cynical ass person, but I don't know. Okay, so downvoted comment from a user. Hard disagree with the majority here. OP, you are 27. That's well beyond being a child and well beyond expecting anyone to care about your birthday. Like, did you attend 15 birthday parties each year for all of these people? You probably did not. Or at least you can sympathize with people who are like, hey, we're in our 20s now. We've all got jobs and chores to do. Can't we just simply hang out? The older you get, the more you need to stop thinking only about yourself. What do other people want to do that you like doing? Maybe next time, arrange something that people would mutually like to do rather than a vanity celebration for something you should have grown out of 20 years earlier. OOP, this comment is quite unfriendly, but I still appreciate that you took the time to comment. I mean, I agree and disagree with this comment at the same time. I agree with this. I kind of disagree with this, I think. That response sounds so AI. I mean, it doesn't even sound AI to me. It sounds dismissive. Well, that's your opinion, but, you know, like, I don't know. It feels like that. I think we just got to keep reading, chat, and see what happens. Update 2. The next day, I followed the advice of basically everyone and asked a few of them what happened and why I wasn't even granted a reply or reaction, especially when I kindly asked all of them to RSVP until a certain date. To all the optimistic people, I have to disappoint you. There wasn't a surprise party planned. Also, all of them use WhatsApp regularly, and all of them saw the invites. The group messages were ticked blue. Now for their responses/explanations. 4 of them had possible alternative plans and couldn't decide if they wanted to go to my party or to commit to other plans. So they just didn't want to say anything until they decided on something. 2 girlfriends didn't have confirmation if their partner could attend or not. So again, they just didn't say anything because they didn't know yet. All the partners were included in the group chat though. One said she wasn't feeling too well lately and wanted to decide spontaneously to come. One had a valid excuse since she tried to find childcare for her 6-month-old child all week long. She is the only one with a child, and she actually found childcare, so we will be doing something with her and her husband. I told all of them how it made me feel, that it was rude, and that it made me cry and feel unwanted. I also told them that it is their loss, because if they don't appreciate me organizing nice events and evenings, this is not the first time I had issues like this, there simply won't be any for them to attend in the future. They all admitted that their behavior was rude and unfriendly and were apologetic and told me they are sorry. One friend said he really messed up, and after he saw I deleted the group, he felt pretty bad and wanted to approach me anyways. It's not ideal, but it is something. Y'all, maybe I'm just a fucking asshole, but like, this line is so ridiculous. I also told them that it is their loss, because if they don't appreciate me organizing nice events and evenings, there simply won't be any for them to attend in the future. Like, maybe I'm an asshole, chat. I will admit it if I am. I will not cut them out as suggested by many. I talk to them, I express my hurt, and I will give them the opportunity to learn from their mistakes and grow. They are flaky in a society that accepts flaky and non-committal behavior. They are human and faulty, and I am also not a perfect human. I know that the answer may disappoint some. I will, however, make room in my life for people who are more reliable and who would be more appreciative and enthusiastic about theme parties, and will not rely too much on my current friends. I don't know, maybe someone's gonna fucking rip me a new one for this, but like, I don't think I could stand OP. This is just a Reddit post, but just from the Reddit post, I'm like, I feel like you're unbearable. Like, I feel like these people may not be telling you the truth here. Wait, hold on, actually, let's see what the comments are saying. Are the comments picking up what we're putting down? Damn, we are not on the same page as the comments though. All the comments are on their side. Chat, am I fucking crazy? Like, I don't want to ever sway you guys, but like, I'm not crazy, right? Like, there's something about the way OP wrote this. There's something about OP's attitude that is driving me fucking crazy. I genuinely don't think I would be friends with OP. Yes, thank you, Glittery Trash Fire. She sounds entitled. I agree with you. Holier than thou energy. Yes, yes. Thank you guys. That is exactly the vibe I'm picking up here. There is 100% a holier than thou vibe from OP that, like, sure, from her perspective, she could do no wrong. Obviously, she's writing it. I would be so curious to see what these friends are saying. I feel like we're cooking here, chat. I feel like, look, never let me sway you guys. If some of you guys are like, no, Sarby, you're not fucking cooking with this, like, speak up. Okay, yeah, let's do a quick little poll. Is Sarby cooking? Yeah, I mean, it seems like a majority of you guys are saying yes. If you're saying I'm not cooking, I totally understand. I'm just getting bad vibes from this post. My best friend turns out to be crazy and is ruining my wedding. We have a 27 female OP and a 26 female best friend. Original post, February 9th, 2016. Some background info about this girl. Let's call her Jess. At this point in her life, she's kind of a hot mess. She's one of those people who airs everything on Facebook, who has a new love of my life every month and a new best friend every few months. Her relationships and friendships usually end terribly, with both sides hating each other. How did I become her best friend? Well, she hasn't always been this way. She was relatively normal 5 years ago when I met her, save for the normal early 20s drama. But in the last 2 years, she's lost her mom to cancer and her grandpa to old age, and she doesn't have any other family. She dropped out of school and found out her boyfriend at the time was cheating on her. After the breakup, I was acting like a shoulder to cry on since she had pretty much hit rock bottom. A few months later, she was telling everyone how close we were and started tagging me as her best friend. A few months ago, I got engaged. Unbeknownst to me, she started telling everyone she was my maid of honor, even though I've always planned on making my sister my maid of honor. But this was right after Jess's mom had died. So I just improvised and said I would have 2 maid of honors. It's still not what I would have liked, but I literally couldn't bring myself to tell this poor girl I don't consider her my best friend. This was my first mistake. About a month after I got engaged, she met a guy. 2 weeks later, she was engaged. A week later, she was married. A month later, she was divorced, separated? Question mark? I don't know if it's legal yet. I don't know if anything was legal. But she changed her last name and is still going by that. So I'm guessing it was legal. Ever since the divorce, my own wedding planning has become unbearable. She is constantly telling me how marriage doesn't work, love can't save things, etc., and criticizes how much I'm spending on my wedding when she had hers for a few $100s. Vegas wedding. It's gotten to the point where she's rude to the vendors I'm meeting with, but she gets really upset when I don't take her to meetings since she's the maid of honor. So I'm at the point where I just want to cut her out of the wedding like I should have done in the first place. However, when I confessed this to a mutual friend, my friend let me know to be careful because Jess can be really vindictive. When she found out her ex from a few years ago was getting married, she tried to contact the bride and tell her he was cheating on her. He wasn't. One of her last besties was fired from her job because Jess made multiple email accounts and regularly contacted customer service complaining about her. And since she knows so much info about my wedding already, I'm really terrified that she'll somehow try to sabotage it. So basically, I don't know what to do at this point. I feel like this wedding is getting away from me, but I also don't know if it'd be less painful to keep her a part of it because it would save me all the drama. I don't know what she's capable of, so I'm really worried that she'll somehow make everything harder for me if I don't just grin and bear it. Help. Honey, you might be cooked. Sure, maybe you could reschedule the wedding and like taper down her involvement, but like that would probably cost you a fuck ton of money and is a very unrealistic option. I think the only two realistic options are keep her as a maid of honor and hope and pray shit doesn't hit the fans harder than it already is, or two, kick her out from being a maid of honor and just do your best to damage control her vindictive nature. Call all your vendors, make sure your fiance knows that she might fuck with him, make sure your family knows, but yeah, I think either way you go, this isn't gonna be easy. I think that second route makes a lot more sense. Okay, Tiana, it would be great to find a way to make her back out herself. I mean, I don't know how, but yeah. Oh my God, wait, what if she like, do y'all remember that episode of Friends when Chandler and Monica are looking for a house together and they realize that their neighbor might be Janice and that the way that they convince her to not be neighbors is by saying Chandler's still in love with her? What if OP says, Jess, you can't be at the wedding. My fiance says he has feelings for you. Yo, chat, am I cooking? Is Toxic Sarby cooking, chat? Y'all don't think I'm cooking? Okay. All right, maybe we're not cooking. Okay, but how funny would that be? Cooking poison. All right. Shit. Sometimes I do not be cooking, chat. Okay, so this person's recommending passwords with vendors. Didn't even know that was a thing. This user says, sounds like you need to have a very uncomfortable talk with this girl. Tell her what you told us and let her know her negative attitude has no place in planning your wedding. You're sorry things aren't working out for her, but she is not allowed to pile this stuff on you. Tell her that you cannot have her as a maid of honor, and since she seems to think so negatively about marriage, you wouldn't expect her to do this. Up to you if you even let her attend the wedding as a guest. OOP, oh my God, I haven't even thought about explaining how her negative attitude towards my marriage could be the excuse for not having her in the wedding party. That sounds ridiculously logical, but I've been blinded by a flurry of craze. Thank you. Okay, much better move than the one I said. I'll admit that. I still think it'd be silly goofy, but why won't you guys validate my fucking crazy ass ideas? Please, 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 please. Update May 10th, 2016. 3 months later. Guys, this went full-blown crazy. Oh no, step bro. Before I could even have a conversation with Jess, she confronted me about it. Apparently, the mutual I confided in let the whole story leak, and a twisted, more dramatic version made its way to Jess. Shit meat fan. It was an hour or two of me trying to explain to Jess in a somewhat calm manner that I felt she had overstepped her boundaries and it was really taking a mental toll on me, while she yelled about what a terrible friend I was and how she's tired of putting all of her faith in the wrong people and how she was tired of trying her best to be a good maid of honor. I made the mistake of pointing out that I had never asked her to be my maid of honor in the first place, and she responded with, well then, I must be delusional. The first step is admitting you have a problem, so progress? Needless to say, we aren't on speaking terms. Shortly after that, I took all of your advice and called all of my wedding vendors and let them know that my fiance and I were going to be the only people making any decisions, and set up a confirmation word with them. Apparently, this shit happens a lot because nobody even asked why. I accidentally forgot to contact the bakery making our cake, but luckily they called me and asked if I was certain I wanted to cancel the wedding cake. Apparently, there was a voicemail left on their machine. Wonder how that happened. Here's where things get really nuts. A few weeks after our blow up, she apparently met some guy who's the love of her life. A few weeks after that, they're engaged. I can't make this shit up. She did it again. Then our mutual friends got invited to her wedding, which is the same date as mine. But since they had RSVP'd for my wedding, a lot of them couldn't make it. No fucking way. No way. She's so petty and vindictive. She went for the option of, oh, I'm gonna make my wedding date on the same fucking day. A few days before her wedding, they had to cancel because he's already married. And you know what? So is she. I guess she never got officially divorced from the first quickie wedding. So as far as I know, no wedding actually happened. I have no idea if they still plan to. I'm just glad to be away from that circus. But anyways, I got married a few weeks ago. Everything was wonderful. The weather was great, and everyone present was a joy to be around. Except maybe my uncle, who gets a little too dancy when he's drunk, but you know, family. Thank you to everyone who responded, and to everyone letting me know I'm not helping matters by going with the flow. I will be actively practicing caution when making friends by running from crazy and not comforting it. At least her vindication there didn't actually mess with the real wedding. That's kind of nice. Am I wrong for being upset my girlfriend of 8 years now wants sex? This one has a brand new update. Original post June 18th, 2024. Before we finish up this last story, if you've gotten this far into the video, that probably means that you're enjoying it. And if that's the case, all I ask is that you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any future reading Reddit videos. I upload 2 a week. They're usually 40+ minutes and they go up every Monday and Thursday. On top of that, I have over 110 reading Reddit videos on my channel. So if you're looking for your daily dose of drama, head on over to my channel for hours and hours of reading Reddit stories just like this one. My girlfriend and I have been together for 8 years and we've never had sex. My girlfriend has had some issues regarding sex. She's gone to a therapist and she realized she may never want sex. I knew all this beforehand and I was willing to stay sexless as long as she's a wonderful person. I've never pressured her for sex and never expected it. It was hard for me at times though. Also, non-monogamy was never an option. Fast forward a few years and my libido is completely gone. I don't do anything sexual. I still hug and kiss my girlfriend though. I don't even masturbate or watch porn anymore. Even if a sex scene comes up on a movie or TV, it does nothing for me. Any sex drive I ever had is gone. My girlfriend recently tried to grab my crotch and I pushed her away. I asked what she was doing and she said she wants to try and start being sexual with me. We had a long talk about why she feels this way and she says she can't really explain it. I told her I don't want to have sex and she was disappointed. Things have gotten more tense between us and the other day we had a fight. She says that I'm just doing this to punish her because she wouldn't have sex with me before. She says she doesn't believe me when I say my libido is gone. I'm just really frustrated with her now because I was willing to give up sex to be with her and I never made her feel bad about it. And now she's upset with me. Am I wrong in this? I mean, no, I don't think OP's wrong at all here. I mean, what an interesting situation. I think the distinction here is that OP willingly chose to go to the girlfriend side at the beginning of not having sex. The girlfriend can't make OP go over to her side. OP would have to go over there willingly, and clearly he is not willing to go over to that side, aka have sex with her. Honestly, very toxic, her accusations. Like, she's almost invalidating the fact that, like, okay, this man is pretty much asexual at this point. I don't know, maybe I can't define him as asexual, but he has no libido anymore. He doesn't want to have sex. And instead of, like, validating that and trying to, like, I don't know if work through is the right way to put it, but just, like, accepting that, she's accusing him of only doing this to punish her, which is just a bad partner in my opinion. Hold on, let's look at some of these relevant comments too, because they might have covered bases I didn't. The commenter asked, what does she have to say about you being understanding of her issues regarding sex for the last 7 years? OP, she said it's different because she had some trauma regarding sex and that I've never been sexually assaulted. True. I don't know. Something about her saying that unless you've been sexually assaulted, your boundaries around sex shouldn't be taken seriously rubs me the wrong way. OOP on how he controls his sex drive. OOP, it's hard to explain how I did it, but anytime I felt horny, I just did things like hitting myself or telling myself to stop several times. I did this because otherwise I'd end up sexually frustrated. All right, this is above my pay grade in terms of advice, but I'm gonna go with my gut here and say that's not healthy. Guys, I don't even know what to say. That is so just wow. Here's the thing, chat. I don't think we can blame the girlfriend for OP hitting himself. We should definitely explore that. Unless the girlfriend was like, oh, you feel horny? You should just hit yourself until you don't, because that's bad. Unless the girlfriend was saying that, I don't think we can blame the girlfriend for that. As of right now, from the info that we have, the only thing we can blame her for is her reaction to OP not wanting to have sex with her. Damn, Tabby wants the everyone sucks here. I don't think OP sucks to the girlfriend. I think OP sucks to himself. But the girlfriend definitely sucks. First update, June 21st, 2024, 3 days after the original post. We had a talk. I explained to her what I did to get rid of my libido. Basically, I hit myself and told myself no when I got horny. She didn't know this. I never told her because I didn't want her to feel bad for not having sex with me. I didn't want to tell her, but she insisted on knowing why I don't have a libido anymore. Okay, that's good. Wasn't encouraged by the girlfriend. She started crying when I told her. She said she was sorry she made me go through that. I told her it's not her fault and that it was my choice. We just held each other for a while after that. We decided that we go to couples therapy, and when I'm ready, I'm gonna see a sex therapist. She said she's sorry for how she's been acting and that she's willing to be patient with me. I asked her what happens if I never get my libido back. She said she doesn't know, but she said she will be patient with me. So yeah, I'll try to get my libido back. I don't feel comfortable discussing now, but something I'll want to mention during therapy is this pressure I'm getting from my girlfriend. Like, maybe I'm overthinking, but I guess it feels like she's waiting for me to have sex. I don't know, but when I decided to be with her, I was more of the mind, I may never have sex again. I wasn't waiting for my girlfriend to get better so we could have sex. I accepted the fact that I could go sexless for the rest of my life. I don't know. I guess this is a discussion for later. Edit, I think a lot of people are assuming I beat the shit out of myself. No, I didn't punch myself at full force. I slapped my thigh or my hand or pinched myself whenever I got horny or tried to look at porn. I did not punch my dick or balls. I mean, I sure hope not, bro. Still arguably not healthy. That's a good clarification, though. I thought bro was just full on, like, flogging himself. Genuinely, I think this is above Reddit's pay grade, chat. You know when people are like, I've never had a unique experience in my life? This right here is the most unique experience I've probably ever heard of. I don't think a YouTuber should be sitting here giving the advice on this. I think we sit back and see what the professionals have to say. Update 2. The new update, January 8th, 2025, 6.5 months later. It's been a long time since I posted and things have changed a lot in the past few months. We did find a therapist for us and one for myself. It was hard to open up. I felt like I wasn't allowed to be frustrated a good portion of the time. I did manage to open up to my girlfriend. Honestly, it was a pretty arduous journey for us, but we are in a better place now. My girlfriend recognized that she was wrong for pressuring me into sex and grabbing me out of nowhere. I recognized I was wrong for my self-therapy when it came to killing my libido. We took small steps towards having sex. Eventually, we finally did. The first time we tried was a mess. Eventually, though, it started to feel natural. We'll still go to therapy, but we're both in a much better place now, and we are having sex pretty consistently. I honestly didn't realize how much I missed it. I mean, hey, it sounds like they got that professional help we were talking about. No way in hell Reddit could have given them that. Everybody's taking accountability of their actions. Girlfriend is recognizing that she was wrong for the pressure and for grabbing OP. OP was wrong for that self-therapy. A win is a win, chat. We love a situation that could have ended way worse, but ended in them being like, yeah, we're figuring it out. It's an ongoing thing, but it's definitely better than where it was.